welcome back to the channel. This is part one of the Range Rover build. So basically we're going to be building a Range Rover, a style Range Rover. It's an Aoshima kit which looks very nice. It's got no engine detail, which is a bit of a bummer, but you know, we will carry on and persevere because it should still come out looking relatively nice anyway. But obviously the previous video to this was the Brian James trailer. This is actually going to be our vehicle for the towing trailer, so we can, you know, because I might do a little dormer as well. So I've never built one before, but this is the part one of it. So let's get cracking. All right, what we're building first is the axles. So we've got front and rear axles. Obviously this has all got to be painted, and this is what it says: if there is no paint indication, you have to paint the parts with C92 if there is no indication of different colours. Excuse me. So obviously they're stating that's semi-gloss black, but I'm going to be painting it Mr. Hobby finishing surface 1500 black. It looks so good. So we're going to obviously start cutting all this up. We don't need this part yet, but obviously we need these, obviously the anti-roll bar. We're going to do a massive cut off, then obviously a massive paint up, like paint session, because obviously everything's going to go black, and we've just got a couple of little bits we have to paint silver. The gearbox has to go silver, so this here has to go silver. Obviously brake disc silver, exhaust silver, and the rear shocks have to go, let me just check, H5 blue. Okay, so we've got to do a couple of different colours there. So I think the rear shocks we're not going to paint them with black, because I don't think it will, the blue won't show up, so we're painting them separately. But it's weird how the rear shocks, it may not be rear shocks, there's only one of them I think, so I wouldn't honestly know what that actually is. So right, let's stop gibbering and let's get going. I'm going to set you up on a time lapse. I'm going to do a massive cut off, and obviously we'll come back, then we'll do a massive painting session. All right, be back in 2 seconds. Right, so about the shaky cam, but I've took you off the amount. But we've got 1 batch, 2 batch, 3 batch, 4 batches, all to be primed. So what I'll do is I'll set you up for a time lapse, sorry, and we'll see if the time lapse is any good. You'll see it in the video, because obviously I know some people like to see the spraying going down, but obviously all I'm doing is laying down primer. But if it comes out good, I'll add it in. Right, welcome back. Yeah, we've got everything primed. It's all sitting over to the left. So now what we're going to do is build up each section, do some detailed painting if it needs it, like if it needs any silvers and whatnot, and we'll go from there. So yeah, so let's get cracking. I might set up on a bit of a time lapse, so now I can bash some tunes out. But yeah, right, let's get cracking. Right, obviously we've got all some bits all set up. I think what I'm going to do is stick you on a time lapse, then obviously we'll come back once we've done like 3 steps, just have a little look. Obviously I've still got a couple more bits to paint, but right, let's talking more build. got to do this a little bit live. Sorry for the shaky cam. Right, obviously we've got Aoshima front axle. So obviously this bit slides into there, like so. And obviously we have two sections on there. So we'd go dub on there, and the dub on there. We could potentially put a little bit on there, like so. So then slide that into there, and it slides back out again. And that one's into there. That one's in there. So we've got that sitting where it needs to be. Obviously we've still got to put these little bits on. And the reason why I'm doing these bits last is because obviously I want this all lined up first. Obviously we've still got a bit to put in here, which you have to excuse the sirens. So we've got to dub a bit on there, dub a bit on there. So let's do that. Dub that on there, then on there. Spin that round. And drop that onto there, like so. So that's that piece in. This is the tricky part because on the instructions it says that way. So obviously we've got the bit where it sits in, and obviously that's where that sits. So I'm happy with that. I'm sorry if you can hear all screaming and that in the background. Do the same again. Then do that again. Just tip it on its side so we can that was tricky. So just got to do a little bit of a brush touch up there. There's nothing. But right, I'll come back once I've got all the other parts ready. Right, welcome back. Let's get this done. This motor's not going to build itself. Right, so we've got to put this piece on which goes at the front, but that does not get glued on, that one. And obviously if we tip it up, and that goes, hopefully you can see that. And we just grab so obviously that goes onto the wheel like so. And just clips on. Potentially, I reckon we could potentially move the steering wheel, I reckon, but not 100% sure. Right, so we've got that bit in, nice. And obviously, yes, it goes onto the bottom now, then connects onto there. Good job. Right, now. We've either got to stick the exhaust in, like now, because we might not. Yeah, so the exhaust first, then the anti-roll bar. So the exhaust just little lugs, locating pin lugs, one in there, one in there. So a little bit of super glue. This is my go-to glue at the moment. Just think it's excellent. Okay. Obviously this piece here locates over there. Just check the instructions. So we stick you there, stick you there, just have a look. You're in there, you're in there. Job's a good one. But we need to get that off quite quick. See, made a mistake. This piece has to go on first, which sits into there. And sits in there. Like so. Right. Just put a little bit more. No, we don't need to smother it. always pays to read instructions. Right, that's in, and that's on there. Perfect. Then this, obviously you've got a location pin there and there, and they go into there. So what we do this bit live. That was a good one. So that is literally all of the front put together now, which is quite cool. Excuse me. So now all we've got to do, make sure it's in shot, is do all the rear end parts. So I've got to put a transfer on there, which obviously we'll get cracking on. But what I do is, for the last steps on the rear suspension, we'll do it as a time lapse, then we'll come back and have a look at what we've been doing. Alright, as you can see in the time lapse, that was trying me at times, but as you can see, I've just got a little touch up to do in there. But other than that, I should have added some detail to the exhaust really. Let's get a bit of Tamiya wash. Tamiya just gives it a bit of character. Perfect. Job's good. Give it a little. Perfect. Right. So that's the end of part one on the Range Rover LH36D, the 1992. The same one as the Essex boys. It's the same Range Rover, but obviously the Essex Boys I think was blue. This one I'm painting Land Rover Arden's green, I think it is. Obviously another pro scale paint, which should look absolutely delicious. So yes, right, so if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you for part 2, which is interior. So I'll move that over to there. Bear with me, I'm just going to show you what the next video will be. I think we'll do interior, obviously, because you can see, oh, you can't actually. This is obviously part 3, which will be body. So we're going to probably do it in 4 parts. But this is obviously the interior detail. And I think what we're doing part 2, we do the interior, prep the body, ready for paint. Then, yeah, interior, paint body. Then part 3 will be assembling. So yeah, right. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and like, and I will see you very soon on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.